So we have Layla in the house from Bali. We have a whole Bali crew in here. Woo woo! So Layla is an incredible feminine leadership mentor. She is currently running this badass mastermind for women's empowerment and tapping into your divine feminine power. And here she's going to talk with us today on stepping into confidence and owning your power. And with that, Lila, welcome to Emergence Festival. We're so happy to have you.
Oh my God, this makes me so happy to be here with you, Chelsea, to be right after this queen, Stephanie. Oh my God. And to be with all of you, amazing, beautiful people. I love to see men and women in the room. I am sure you are all juiced up by what Stephanie has shared. Your hearts are open, your minds are blown, you're feeling juicy. Is that right? Can you drop on the chat box 2 words, checking? Give me 2 words of how you're feeling right now so I can feel you all and I can know what is this room's temperature right now. It makes my heart so happy to be coming here to share my gifts in Chelsea's world. I believe deeply in what this woman is creating, and wow, Emergent Festival is what the world needs right now more than anything else. Honest and happy. Craig is in bliss, heart opening, floating, full heart open, connected. Wow, yes. I'm loving all of that. Well, you know, I was going to start by introducing myself and telling you a little bit about what this session is going to be, but I'm going to shift gears radically because I'm feeling you all. And I think that the most powerful thing for us to do right now is to take all of this magic that Stephanie has created and that you're feeling in your body, which is very real. If you're feeling open, connected, if you're feeling expansive, that there is a very specific chemistry in your body right now. And you will see throughout this call that I'm a very nerdy person. So I always go back to the science here and there. So your bodies literally right now have a very juicy cocktail of serotonin and dopamine and all the good molecules that make you feel excited and uplifted. And what I would love to do is that we take that and we infuse it into our bodies. So Stephanie's session stays with us even longer because it will become an embodied experience. Yeah? How does that sound? A little bit of movement? Yes?
Yes.
Yes? All right. So no matter where you are, just pull your chair back so you can stand up. Remember that this is about how it feels and not about how it looks. So you can close your eyes, keep your cameras on so that I can guide you a little bit more present. And I'm going to share my sound. Bear with me while I figure that out. Computer. Soundtrack. And now I go screen share. Advance. Share my music. Okay, can you guys hear the music?
Layla,
Yes.
induce computer sound. Only think you got it. Okay.
Yeah, does
Hear
it
it.
sound good?
Yes.
Can you also hear my voice? Beautiful. All right, so stand up, both 2 feet. Make sure they are firmly planted in the ground. Your hands on your hips. And massage your hips a little bit. Massage bones of your hips. Bend a little bit your knees. Take a comfortable stand. And start just moving the body, allowing the spine to fluctuate in whatever shape form your body wants. And at the same time, massage your hips and with your thumbs, start massaging in round circles your kidneys. Your kidneys are a hormonal gland and they're in charge for the biochemical shifts in your body. So you're literally massaging them so they can absorb all the good stuff that you have experienced. The ladies in the house with the fingers, you can massage your ovaries. So the guys in the house, if you feel like grabbing your balls and massaging them. That's also allowed. Both ovaries and testicles are the biggest glands of our body. So when we massage them, we actually activate the production of the hormones and neurochemistry that we need to feel in power. And take the movements a little bit more exaggerated, a little bit bigger, a little bit more awkward, a little bit bigger. And you can also allow your arms to stretch and take over as much space around you as you possibly can. Grab the limits and pull them in. Grab everything that's available in the world around you and pull it. And the whole time you will taking very deep breaths. If you are into breath work, this is a good moment to bring your favorite breath. And you can also invite sound, another really good trigger is chemical balance in the body. You're all muted, so allow yourself to roar, to yawn, moan, whatever wants to come to. Yes. And now for only 1 minute, 60 seconds, I invite you to shake. Standing in both feet, allow all your body to shake. All the molecules of your body, all the cells, your muscles, your bones, your face, your arms, your legs, shake it. Shake it, baby, shake it. Yes? 30 more seconds. Now you've done a minute. Good job. And come back to stretching your muscles, your arms, your legs. The idea is to give your body the information that you're taking as much space as possible. But now just trust me, I'll give you the science behind it later. And if you haven't tried yet, give yourself permission to take space with your voice as well. Last 2 minutes. Make sure you're taking space. Make sure you're moving as much as your body can. And slowly let the movement down. Concentrate all the motion to the center of your body. Let the arms slowly come back to the center. And just keep a very gentle sway where both arms are bouncing against the body. What they're doing is they are hitting both sides of the kidneys in the back. So when the arm arrives, cuts the back, yeah? To awaken those kidneys. Part of the Taoist practice. And at the same time, start reducing your breath. Start bringing your breath slowly down. Take a deep inhalation and deep exhalation. Now, 1 more minute here. more seconds. Your body is absorbing all the energy that you have created. Make sure you take very deep breaths, inhaling in your belly first and then your chest, and exhaling your chest first and then your belly. As you breathe, last few seconds here. Bring your awareness to the sole of your feet. You're bouncing from one to the other. Flag them both on the floor, make sure they're both grounded. And keep the bounce just on your knee. And if your arms are still swinging really fast, start bringing them down. Slowly, slowly. Softer and softer movement. Till you get into stillness. Absolute stillness. It feels right. You can place hands on your belly, and your chest, but only if that feels right. For men, if you feel comfortable, put both hands on your sexual area. Even hold your balls, they're yours, full permission. Ladies, if you feel like putting your hands cupping your yoni, the reason why I'm directing your hands to your sexual organs is because your sexual organs are the biggest hormonal gland in the body. And now all I want you to do is close your eyes and give yourself 1 minute of nothing. Simply take deep breaths, inhaling through your sexual organs all the energy of this planet that is available to you. From the sole of your feet to your perineum area, absorb in every inhalation what is available. Now breathe up through your spine and take all of that conscious awareness up to your heart. Expanding your thoracic area, rolling your shoulders back, and continue inhaling up to your crown. When you exhale, imagine all of that energy water falling down through the front of your body, back, down to your sexual organs. Where you will inhale once again, creating an orbit of conscious and present breath. One very small technical detail, your tongue should be on the roof of your mouth, soft palate, to close the cycle of energy that is circulating through your system right now. Inhaling from the soles of your feet and your sexual organs up through your spine, till your pineal gland at the center of your brain. Exhaling and allowing all of that waterfall down the front of your body. In 1 more minute, your body has started a full cycle of integration. You are shifting now from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. You're literally a sponge. So any thought that you put here now, it's a very powerful one. Take a moment, plant a seed, set an intention, ask for a wish, make a commitment, ground an affirmation. What are you creating? Who are you becoming? What power are you awakening in yourself? And we're gonna hold this only for 2 more minutes, because that's all it takes for your body to understand the message, for your conscious mind to communicate with your subconscious mind, for your body to get the message. Hold that intention for 1 more minute. Now very slowly, no rush. Take a last deep inhale and a last deep exhale. Slowly open your eyes to see all of these epic people that took the same journey with you. And come back to the screen, come back to your chair, to your bed, to wherever you are. To the middle of a cosmic heart like Renee Jones. What a great place to be. And if you had switched off your camera, please switch it back on. I'd love to see you. Hi, Steve. I saw you dancing. Hi, Chelsea, Alison, Brenda, Gigi. Nice, all of these beautiful faces. Please, guys, if you feel inspired to share your cameras, it really helps us. Those of us who are here at the other side delivering, it feels so good to be received, to be, and to see where you're at, and to see your hands and your expressions and your laughter. I would love to invite another 2-word checking on that chat box while I go ahead and tell you very little about who I am, because it's not about me today, it's about you. But if you want to share in that chat box how you're feeling now after this experience, I will absorb your words like a sponge. My name is Layla Khadri, and what I do in this world is help humans who are ready to take the leap, because we are living in times where more people needs to be taking the leap. And for me, taking the leap is remembering who you are and what is the source of your power. And this is not something that you arrive at one day and it's done. This is something that we need to do every single day, very especially because we live in a world where we are constantly told that we are not powerful. So we need to constantly balance that belief with good truth. Oh, I love what is happening here. Brenda says they felt good to move and then bask in the effects of the stillness. Yes, isn't that amazing? You can feel your body absorbing all the chemicals. Please tell me how you're feeling on that chat box. Put a couple of words there. Connection is the bridge that makes these sessions powerful. So when I decided that I wanted to get out of the system, I was burnt out, fully disempowered, living a life that was a constant yo-yo between getting things done and not, procrastination, food disorders, anxiety, depression, you name it. I was a beautiful mess. It was in my early 20s. And the reason why I pushed through that and got out of, quote unquote, the system, left my career and went on a 10-year journey is because underneath all of that cloudiness, I knew I was born to do something magical. I knew there was something in me that was powerful, that was important for me to make sure it get done in this lifetime. And it was eating me. It was a nagging feeling that it was eating me. So I went on a 10, well, by now 12-year journey of exploring, investigating, studying. I spent $500,000 in studies, how to activate our innate potential and our capability to create with our lives what we know is possible. And I went from Tantra, Taoism, meditation, and you name it in the spiritual realm, spending a decade in Southeast Asia, studying with masters, studying with ancient schools, from the Taoist school to the Hindu school, to one day taking the leap to the other side of the world, going to the United States of America to study everything I could find in cutting edge discoveries for biohacking, for human optimization, for trauma release, for somatic embodiment, anything. I went really to the edge, and I still do, with myself as a laboratory to explore what is possible. Because a lot is possible for us, every single one of you. And I don't know your stories. You might already be at the top of your success. But can I see by a show of hands who feels ready to play big? Who feels ready to take it to the next level? Can you hold your hand for a few seconds so I can scroll through the screen? Who is ready to take it to the next level? Yes, yes. Okay, I see some of you even have 2 hands up. Perfect. This is because we all are. This is because this work. Yeah. my tech king is like so ready. I also love your background, brother. It looks like you're on a spaceship. Damn it, nice. Well, the reason why we're all feeling this is because the world needs this right now. It's in the collective. It's like what was until now, it's crumbling. It's like, I mean, I don't even need to speak about it. At every single level, it's falling down. And we know that what we have is the solution. Not even the solution, in fact, the solution. We don't need to fix that. Let that die because it's time for it to die. We have the seed for the new one, for the new creation, for the new earth, for the new way of making business, for the new way of doing finances, for the new. And is when we find the access to trust in that gets manifested. The title of my talk today is Embodying Confidence and Owning Your Power. What does that mean? That is the difference between being sitting at home feeling I could be doing something epic and being in the middle of something epic happening. And thanks God, and I'm deeply humbled, this has been my job for the last decade, helping women and men, but mostly I have been working with women, take that. No, that's not true. I suddenly remember all the male clients I've worked with and they were a little pissed on the corner of my mind. Helping men and women take that notion that there is something bigger and turn it into action. And today, in a very reduced amount of time, what I want to give you so that you can walk away with something practical is 3 keys that you can use every single day to prompt yourself to embody your confidence. Because embodied confidence is nothing else than a biochemical state of being that's very particular. A very particular set of neurotransmitters firing in your brain, hormones running through your body, and nervous system. When we align our minds, which will be those neurotransmitters, with our emotions, which are regulated by our nervous systems, and our bodies, which feed on hormones and all the many other things, when mind, emotion, and body is aligned, then I can access that power. And that power is within each one of us in different versions. Hannah's version of power has nothing to do with Renee's version of power. They're completely different. And yet what Renee came here to do needs Renee's specific blueprint. And what Hannah came here to do needs Hannah's specific blueprint. So I am going to run you through these blueprints, through these 3 steps. And for that, I want you to play the example of your particular life in your mind as I am sharing these with you. That means right now you're going to take 2 minutes. You can already start thinking about it as I speak, to choose the one thing that you're wanting to shift, whether it's in your personal life, your relationships, your career, your mission, whatever that is. I want to scale my business. I am ready for a supportive relationship. I am ready to get out of my current life situation. I'm ready to break through my financial blocks, whatever that is for you. And as I walk with you these 3 steps of this process, I want you to apply them already into your particular case. Yes? Are you all with me still? See? Beautiful. Let me see this chat box. Chelsea says that felt good to embrace sensuality and move. Don't you know that, sister? Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Gigi was buzzing. I was buzzing too. I'm actually super sweaty. Cool. Does everybody have their one particular thing that they're coming here to work with? Nice. Well, now, what is your mental power say about this? What does your mind tell you about this particular thing? Write it down. Sum it up, few bullet points. What is my mind telling me about this job? If a few of you wants to share on the chat box, what's your particular case? I can also use them as examples. So just pop in the chat box. I want to scale my business. I want to find the man of my dreams. Whatever it is that you're working with. And then ask yourself, what is your mind telling you about it? And then look at what your mind is telling you about it and ask yourself, is this supporting this to happen? Very simple. I am not discovering the wheel for you here. And if the answer is no, that's the first step to start with. How many have answered no to that question? Okay, hold your hand up. Nice. All right, beautiful. There's a lot of hands that went up, but there's also a lot of hands that not. So if what you are thinking about this particular thing is supporting you, you have the first step of the journey done. If it's not, we gotta shift that. Anyways, working with the mind as an entry point is a really powerful way to start when you are wanting to access your power. This literally can mean I get a call to jump on an interview and I have 15 minutes. I have 15 minutes to access my power. First thing, I'm gonna go through the entry point of the mind. Why? Might sound counterintuitive. Oh, she's telling us to use our mind. Yes, because your mind is anyways, forgive my vocabulary, but your mind anyways is the fucking first one that's gonna arrive there to tell you something not very supportive about it. This is just how we work, how we are wired, and how our society is. So if you meet the mind with the mind on time, she doesn't have time to kickstart a process. Because here is the power of what I'm teaching you today is these 3 steps are the blueprint of our symbiotic, holistic nature. We are mind, emotion, and body. We are also spirit. But I don't need to talk with you about spirit because that is your business. You know how you communicate with spirit. And also, because when you align mind, body, and emotion, spirit comes through, no problem, no need to do anything. It's there. So when we align mind, body, and emotion at a physical level, at a mental level, and at an emotional level, is when we can click into that power. And as we are seeing, the mind always gets there first. So I get invited to speak, let's say at Emergence Festival. And if my mind gets there soon enough to say you're not good enough, I am immediately going to feel not good enough. And my body is going to respond in a not good enough manner. And this is so quick, we often don't even catch it. I will literally get the invitation to jump on the stage and I will feel so physically tired that it will make sense to say, I actually need to rest. It will actually sound like that's the most reasonable thing to choose. But this is just because our body is shifting the same way that we shifted in the beginning of the class intentionally, now is shifting unconsciously. And unfortunately, my loves, we live in a system where we're constantly consuming the information that sets up this process. You open your phone and you open any channel right now, and 80%, if not 90%, depending on how you're curating your feed, of the news that you receive kickstarts the process of systematic disempowerment. No matter what you think about it, no matter what your opinion about it is, your mind immediately is going to kick your emotions and they reflect on your body. And so getting used to do the process in our own terms, with our own mastery on a daily basis is vital right now. I think it's time for us to become real Jedis, and this is the moment. If you are going through an airport control, for example, right now, I don't know how many of you are still traveling, but I have to. And you go through the airport control with this ninja awareness of what's happening, It's fascinating how easy it can still be. Yeah, Craig gets it. Yeah, brother. It's fascinating. I've heard stories of people traveling right now in and out of Bali with 5-day quarantine. And I mean, I don't even want to say certain words in here, but you know what I'm talking about. And being a nightmare. And because I had to travel and I was not up to having a nightmare of an experience, I went through it full on ninja. I actually chose my outfits very interestingly the days I was traveling because I had to wear the mask anyways. I looked literally like I could take a katana out of my backpack. It was just, and I had a blast. Mastering my inner state in a way that my environment responded to me with ease in the midst of what's happening. So let me see in the chat book if I see. Okay, one more of you give me what you're working with so I can use it as an example. Gigi gave me already. She wants to step, no, that was Hannah, wants to step into her truth and quit a job that she hates. And Gigi said, mind blocks around money and earning in the way that brings her joy. Beautiful. So we have these two. So you have arrived to the first place of this ninja training and you're with your mind in front of that you're wanting to accomplish. Or that fear that you're feeling. Like, you know, if in the case of Gigi, you're in front of your money blocks. And there is a very nice exercise I do. Maybe let's do this together. Sit back again, close your eyes. I won't play music now. And put in front of you that roadblock that you are working with. A money block, the relationship, the abusive relationship, that job, whatever it is. And then focus all your awareness on it, like look at it. But don't let your body, your mind go about fixing it or solving it or argumenting. Just look at it. Look at it. Like there were two beams of light coming out of your eyes. Maybe you go ninja and there's three. One is coming out of your third eye. It doesn't matter. You're just focusing your awareness on it. And I want you to pulverize that. See it in front of you exploding in a million pieces and pulverizing, literally dissolving, disappearing. Just for the fun of it. Let that happen. If it's a job that what you're looking at is a job that you're stepping out of, you can literally just put your boss in there. Just pulverize your boss. If it's a sexual block, blow it. If it's a money block, blow it. Beautiful. So right now, you can come back to the screen whenever you're ready. Right now, what is fascinating, and it's crazy that we don't get this taught in school because it's as simple as that, is that your neurochemistry started to work to tell your emotions that this thing is about to blow up. It's that simple. If you will stay there long enough, and long enough for some beliefs, it's a few weeks, for some it's a few months, for some it's a few minutes. For some, you might need to do it every single time. If you stay long enough there, your neuroreceptors are firing the information to the rest of your body. You are going to feel that way, and your body is going to respond that way. That easy. Now, why is this not enough? Why I get so, quote unquote, pissed, cheeky pissed, when people come to talk about positive affirmations as the one and only source of solution in the lives. Because wishful thinking can happen if we are not taking it to the next level. Why? We can enter something called a bypass loop, where we are mentally convincing ourselves of something that is actually not having an impact on the rest of our body. This is why once you have met it at a mental level, I'm going to ask you to drop one layer deeper and go to the emotional body. Now, once we arrive to the emotional body, the first thought that comes is, this one is not in my control. Who here feels that your emotions come and pull you around without having any ability to do anything about it? Who feels like once a month or twice a month or God knows when? Okay, I see some hands in the house. Our emotions are not here to victimize us. They're actually here to be an ally and a really powerful GPS. Why do I say GPS? Because if our emotional awareness is empowered and we have conscious awareness of how to work with it, they're actually giving us information about where will be the most optimal way to go about in our life. And I help women build their businesses. I help them take their one dream that they want to turn into a business or a movement and walk all the process till there. And here, when we work through our emotions, is where I see the most amount of failures. Because if you cannot get your body to feel the way you need to feel to go about it, if you cannot get yourself to feel like it, you will drop it. You will start and you will drop it. It's just too hard. It's difficult to build something in this world. However, if you can get yourself to feel it, if you can get yourself to experience it in your body, and this is going to take us immediately into the next level, you will find the way to go through all the challenges. And not only that, something magical happens. And is that when I am in, and this one is, if nothing else, take this one for you. When I am in a conscious emotional process, this doesn't mean I don't feel sad or happy, but while I'm feeling it, I'm aware that I am feeling and I'm not fully identified with what I'm feeling. Once you get yourself to have access to that process, any challenge is actually a resource. Write that down if you have a journal. Any challenge can become a resource because any challenge is potential emotion for you to quote unquote use. And let's break down the word emotion for a moment. Emotion. E is the letter that we use for energy, and motion means movement. Emotion is energy in motion. Every time you are experiencing emotion, what you are having access is to a potential of energy. Now, this is like with money. Money is not good or bad. It's what you do with it. Emotion is never good or bad. It's what you do with it. In the midst of the biggest grief, some of the most powerful pieces of art of our human history were built. Amidst the biggest rages of anger, some of the most amazing adventures and endeavors of our human history have happened. And we don't even need to talk about what happens when we fall in love. It's not even about the person that we're falling in love with most of the time. It's about that amount of love that gets produced in our body that becomes potential energy that allows us to build things in the world. So if I have a practice in my life that allows me to be a master of my emotions, no matter what life throws at me, I'm going to Aikido that energy back to my creations. Aikido is a martial art that instead of meeting with resistance, the opponent takes the force of the opponent and sends it back to him. So if I punch with 20K strength, an Aikido master will take 20K strength back to me. Yeah. So if life hits me with 20K emotional process, I can Aikido that back and funnel it into my creation. Now, this might sound like, yeah, right. It's what has changed my life. As you can probably already tell, I'm a very passionate person. I'm a very emotional woman. I'm Spanish and Moroccan. Got the mix when it comes to fire. And it was a mess growing up. I was a mess. I mean, just imagine me running around crazy without any sort of mastery. I was dangerous for myself and those around me. But it's also why now I have created the impact I create. And I say this humbly and with a lot of gratitude. Because all of that potential, when harnessed, became my best ally. So how? How do we go about mastering our emotional process? I have created a practice that if I had a bit more time, I'll guide you through a few minutes, but I don't think we have time enough today. But you can always find me on my different channels. And I called it presence. You can do this through presence, but hey, you could do this through any martial arts, through any yoga, through any movement. What basically you are going to do is you're going to invite yourself to experience emotion. You can do this at ecstatic dance. Or you're going to find yourself on a place or a moment when you're feeling the emotion. Let's say you're in your bed crying because he left. And in that moment, you're going to remember Layla's session. And you're going to stand up rather than abandoning yourself to the right of the emotion. You're going to stand up and you're going to move that. You're going to move that as simple as with your arms and legs, like you would be moving molasses around you. This is why all the martial arts look the way they look. They are literally redirecting the energies back to paths of alignment. And I don't have a lot of time right now here to break all of this. Wow, I'm really sweaty, you guys. Damn it. Apologies for that. We don't have time to break this all down right now, but there is a meridian system that runs through your body. Meridians are like lines of energy that move through your body. There's the places where the acupuncturist puts the needles. Those meridians are connected to your nervous system, connected to your hypothalamus and your brain and your amygdala. And when you move them in very specific ways, what you're doing is you are literally reorganizing those energies. So held throughout a span of around 20 minutes, no more than that, 20 minutes of these curated movements. And once again, you could even do this with yoga. And if you are in ecstatic dance and it's free movement, you can just move like you know a ninja moves or a martial art teacher's move. Just use your intuition. What your body is going to be doing literally is reorganizing those electromagnetic impulses and hormonal impulses that have become your emotions and bring them into a place where they can be quote unquote used. So at the end of this practice, and I do this practice, I'm going to say twice a day, pretty much. Like if I have to jump on stage, you'll see me in the back doing my thing. I bet you looks really fun, by the way. I have Renee and Craig right under me, and I'm appreciating your expression so much, guys. Thank you so much for being so present. Yes. Craig is a total ninja. There's a huge difference for me when I jump on stage after doing this and if I run on stage and I don't, because it literally, and there's so much science I would love to give you, but it literally brings into centeredness everything that's available for me. One last, please, before we jump to the third step. And I know I talk really fast because I want to give you a lot of information and I see the clock going down. When you cross your arms in conscious movements together with breath, especially if you cross them in the exhale, what you're doing is you are crossing the polarity of your brain, because you know your left side of the brain controls your right side of the body and your right side of the body controls your left side, yeah? So all the martial art movements always cross somewhere, because what it's doing is prompting your both hemispheres to discross, to balance. Very often our left hemisphere is exhausted from being used because we're on the laptop, because we're on conversation. I love that some of you are like doing it while I speak. Yes, please. You might actually start feeling the effect and receive the information deeper. We live in a world, especially with lockdown, where you are engaging mostly your left side. You're consuming information through the left side, and the right one is getting atrophied. So just by moving the arms in that way, you are helping your body balance that out. There's a question, what is she doing on stage? Is this a metaphor? No, I actually, Stephanie, no, just, it's not a metaphor. I mean, when I go on stage is when I go to speak on stage. I am a speaker and I'm doing this online now, but I used to do this in front of, you know, thousands of people and big audiences, and you get nervous. And so this is when I use this. But my stage is your job interview, is your moment when you meet your kids Sunday morning. It's your whatever it is that you're doing, yeah? I'm using stage there as a metaphor. Let me take a breath. The last step of this journey is our bodies. And if you remember when I was guiding you through the practice, I told you to use your arms, grabbing the limits of your space, right? Sorry. I asked you to expand as much as you could and grab all of that into your body. Well, what I was guiding you through is something that if you want to go down the rabbit hole of studying this, you can look at a woman called, let me write this on the chat box, Amy Khadri. Amy Khadri. What Amy Khadri has done is in-depth research in something that she ended up calling power posing. And what she found out is that holding postures of expansion for over 120 seconds, so 2 minutes, shifts the biochemistry of our body. And it does something very special and very simple, is we start releasing testosterone. Now, I've waited to give you this at the end of the call for only those of you who are really ready to receive this information, because testosterone is indeed the power hormone. If we take a group of monkeys and we analyze their blood, the alpha male has the highest level of testosterone. Punto. That's just how this 3D world is designed. If you take a boss woman and you take her employee after having a conversation where there is hierarchy and you analyze both of their bloodstreams, the boss has higher levels of testosterone. Now, very interesting data here. Every movement that is expansive prompts testosterone and helps reduce cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Every movement of contraction creates the opposite. So if you are sitting with both open legs, you're helping your body produce testosterone. But if you are sitting ladylike, crossing your legs, what you're doing is you are prompting the opposite in your system, the least produce of testosterone. Very interesting that society is micro programmed at this level that ask women to sit in a specific way and men in a specific way. So encouraging you to adopt this as a practice every time that you need to show up with trust on your own power, adopt an expansive position for 2 minutes. And go ahead and do it right now. Jessica is doing great because she's just like literally chilling, both arms open and fully relaxed. Put your legs up on the table, open your arms, stretch on the space, hold that for, and hold it in a comfortable position for 2 minutes. And if you breathe deeply and you pay attention, you will experience there is a shift in your state. I really recommend you to do this at least once an hour, especially nowadays that we are so much time in front of our laptops. And since I have a few more minutes, you keep on looking all boss there, please. Don't let me distract you. Some of you are amazing. Can you demonstrate the pose? Yes, darling, I'll demonstrate the pose. This, my feet are up. Can't see them, but this is a great boss babe position. Perfect. You need to do anything else than that. If you observe the victory pose of all athletes in the world, is this, right? When they cross the winning line, it's like, yes. Well, studies have research that born blind athletes, so athletes that had never had a visual reference in their lives, still make instinctually that symbol when they cross the winning line. So it is really programmed in our subconscious mind as a collective. It is not just behavioral, it's become biological. Em is like, amazing! Yes, it is pretty amazing. When I found that out, I was like, what? Yes! You see, immediately. Since I have a few more minutes, I want to give you one more piece. And this is that for the cocktail of hormones and juicy chemicals that you need in order to access your power, there are a few things that happen in your body, right? There's dopamine release, there's oxytocin, there is several components that make that empowerment. It's not just testosterone to feel strong, but it's also dopamine to have a sense of self and reference in the room. It's oxytocin to have to be able to bond with those around you. It is a complicated mix. Gosh, I'm sure. The one thing that our bodies experience that triggers all of this at once in a big shot is, oh my God, I don't know, I'll give a prize if somebody pops it on the chat box and knows it. What is the one thing? I think Chelsea jumped to the chat box. I think she got it. What is the one thing? Kissing, almost. Kissing will be a preliminary to what I'm mentioning. Come on, Chelsea, now you have to have it now. No, not sex, no hugs, no hugging, but it can happen through sex. It can also happen without it. Eye contact, no, is a good warm up. Orgasm, Chelsea, you gave it away. You already know it. Chelsea already knew. Orgasm, good, Craig. Exactly, orgasm. I've studied for half a decade already the Taoist of sexuality, and I went really deep into the studies of the correlation between sexuality and consciousness. I'm actually writing a TEDx about this. I don't know why the whole world is not talking about this, because what happens in a state of orgasm, especially if it's a deep non-ejaculatory orgasm, both for men and women, so not the clitoris orgasm, but the G-spot orgasm, and not the orgasm where you ejaculate, but the orgasm where you regenerate your energy. If we plug electromagnetic machine to check your brain and we check your DNA, what happens during orgasm is something that cannot be seen in any other case, which is our DNA splits. There is a split in DNA, and there is a study by the University of Austria conducted by Mantak Chia that you can go research, Mantak Chia, if they haven't censored it by now, where they, in the University of Austria, they literally conducted an experiment with him. He kept an orgasmic frequency on his body for 12 minutes, and they analyzed his saliva, his brain impulses, etc., etc., etc. Why is this so important that your DNA splits? Because what that literally means is you're rejuvenating your body. And if you look into the ancient tradition of the Taoists, the reason why they developed all these sexual practices and all of this information, this powerful body of work that's 5,000 years old, is because they were chasing enlightenment. And the way that they were chasing this was through bringing the body to an immortality state. Literally, the Taoist sexual practices have as a goal to reach immortality. And the way they wanted to help us reach immortality was by rejuvenating our body on a constant basis so it doesn't age and it doesn't die. Fascinating information. So why is this relevant and important for you today? Because I would love to invite you to bring pleasure into your life to bring very specifically sexual pleasure as part of your embodiment and empowerment practice. Make sure that you include this every day. Pleasure can be to have that ice cream that you like once a week. It can be to get a massage. It can be to have a bath. It can be to have an orgasm or 6, whatever it is that you need. I love Chelsea's up for the 6 orgasms. Just make sure that as part of your practice, you bring pleasure. Often we get taught the opposite, that we have to be powerful, get it done, conquer the world, and then we will have time to chill and be and have pleasure. And that's one of the biggest pitfalls of our journeys, is that pleasure is actually the access to our power. It is ultimately the access to our power, and very especially for women. If you don't access your pleasure, you cannot access your power. Because if your pussy is not activated, you are not having enough dopamine levels in your brain. Punto. Go to Victoria Woolf, yeah, and her book, Vagina, A New Biography, if you want the data for this. This is the one reason why women speak less in class, speak less at work, and are historically more disempowered, because our sexuality has been historically more targeted, and it's technically, biologically impossible for you to access a sense of self-centeredness, outgoingness, connection, self-confidence, and trust if you don't have the right levels of dopamine. And you cannot have the right levels of dopamine if your sexual energy is not active. That doesn't mean that you have sexuality with somebody else. You can be a nun. The Taoist nuns were sexual kung fu masters, and their bodies were fully activated, and they had full access to their sexual energy, and they never came in contact with a man. Take a deep inhale with me, and a deep exhale. I see the next beautiful guest jumped on the class with this amazing setup with all the candles. I know you guys are up for a treat right now. And since I have 2 more minutes, I want to prompt you to enjoy and receive as much as possible from this next session. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this with 1 minute meditation. Go back to sitting on a comfortable position. Close your eyes. And if you're laying down, you can do this laying down. Don't let me bother you. And once again, bring your hands to your sexual organs. Now you know why. Now you know it's not just because I'm a freak, but there is actually science and 5,000-year-old traditions behind it. And just by holding your sexual organs and relaxing your breath, something is happening. Whether you're feeling a tingling sensation, you're starting to even feel sexual energy move, or you're feeling a lot of resistance because that's your journey with your sexuality. It doesn't matter. Energy is moving. Let it move. Breathe it through your spine, up through your crown. And as you exhale, let it waterfall through the front of your body. Continue taking deep inhalations through your spine. And as you exhale, let it waterfall through the front of your body. Stay half a minute more here, breathing deeply, as I tell you that it was a pleasure to be here with you today. That it was an honor to guide you through this experience and share with you some of my most precious tools to embody confidence. That I am here for you to support you in your journey. This is my mission, my passion, and my job. You can find me on social media, on my website, which are going to be popped here in the chat box for you to check. You can write me an email, ask me any question. I am here for those of you who are ready to jump to the next level, and it's my gift. And I didn't take time to share about this, but I am starting a new program in a few weeks for women who are ready to not only take the leap, but build a sustainable business out of that. Proven methodology. I have run already dozens of women through that program, and it's amazing what they have created. So it's also going to be shared on the chat box for those of you who want to put an application. Today is the first time I'm speaking about it. I have not shared it yet with anybody. Take one last deep breath here. And as you exhale, open your eyes and come back to the room so I can see your beautiful faces one more time. It's been a pleasure to be here with you today. I hope you took something from this session, and I pass it back to Chelsea.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Layla. Can everybody take themselves off of mute and rub your hands together? And give Layla a big ashta hey.
Ashta hey.
Ashta
hey.
So good. Thank you so much. It's so special.
She's great. Okay. That was great. That was really wonderful.
Beautiful. So everybody, we are getting to our last session of the evening. And for this session, what I would recommend is putting on headphones, because we're going to be doing a sound healing. So just putting in some headphones. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. You guys can hear me, right? Just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so get some headphones, and we're going to have a sound healing with the beautiful Heather Sharp here, with all of her amazing equipment and all of her candles. And after the session, we are just going to wrap up really gently, because you're probably going to go into a really deep state. So I also recommend maybe turning down your lights. You can leave your cameras on, you can turn them off, but just get really comfortable, maybe even lay down for this. And I would even lay your head towards the computer speakers, or if you have headphones in, that's more ideal.